other lane, save that Draven 4-3 to just make sure they get the better of a matchup. But no, I agree. I feel like Draven Ashe would have been such an insane call if they wanted to just really be strong in that bot lane 2v2. But the Senna coming back through, we haven't been seeing this lately for TS because it's been banned in quite a few games. But this signals to me that we're going to see them pay a bit more attention to the top side.
Yeah, absolutely. And Creme goes for the Ahri. It's been ignored all series long. And it sets up for potentially the Vi for Tian if they want to go for that on the third one. Whether they feel like they need to go for the support alongside the Senna, we'll have to see. And there's an option out of JDG. They can answer with a Taliyah, take the Vi themselves and try and get that combo for them. Oh wait, the Vi's banned. What am I talking about? The Vi take it off the board, but the Taliyah are going to come through for Yagao. Anyway, with the Azir band, to have that early presence, the early game has looked good from him. Whether or not it can work out again. And actually the Ashe taken off the board.
So again, a lot of presence going to be there for the 2v2 down in bot now. You have a mid laner that's going to want to enable that. So we know for JDG it's going to be a lot about the 3v3s towards bot side this time. With the Enchanted Crystal Arrow being up on the opposite side, I think the Tahm Kench would make a lot of sense, having that eat there and ready to be able to get JackeyLove, just out of there. And for people who, maybe are just tuning into LPL for the first time this playoffs and haven't seen the Senna, I mean, JackeyLove, on top of being a premier Draven and playing a lot of the aggressive champs, has really been the go-to Senna player in the LPL over the past few years. Hell, even thinking back all the way back to like 2020 Worlds, when he was one of the only people who was really piloting that champion at such a high level.
Yeah, I feel like Photic, another player that has loved that Senna, but I mean, let's be honest, JackeyLove replaced Photic on top of Esports, so who's the real Senna?
Catching a stray, man.
Just throw that one at Photic, take that, mate. Oh dear, poor guy. Here we go though, bans coming up through once again, is the Nocturne taken away from Tian, removing some of those some of the junglers that can focus well on a side lane, because this entire composition for top esports is looking at 369. So anything that Tian can have to set 369 up, obviously, is going to be a nice target.
Yeah, I'm really looking at. I wonder if they're just going to lean back into something like the Renekton. I always love when you have Senna bot with something topside, a bruiser that already has lots of sustain, right? Renekton, Aatrox, these things that can just make them feel even more unkillable if we get into these brawls, then can just serve as a pretty nice meat shield later on. We'll see what JDG has the read on in terms of if they want to try and ban out any top laners. Or if they're like, hey, it's a lost cause, they can always just pick 5 top, go for the counter, and it seems like that's going to be the read in the end.
So since out comes through, not too surprising there with the Jax ban setting up for that pick. What is Flandre willing to blind pick becomes the question. Rumble would certainly be an interesting answer. It's not necessarily a pick that you think of Flandre for. It's something that does well into that Renekton, so potentially denying the Renekton as the strategy.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not really been something Flandre's been playing. He's played it once this split. It was not a win, but still, it's going to help them. I mean, look at their lanes, man. Ashe support, throwing volleys at you nonstop. You have the rumble up in topside with that flame spitter to just maintain push. And now, ooh, I love the Viego right alongside it. You have so much damage to try and just ensure that you get that reset and you get Kanavi popping off in team fights.
We'll see if we can find the angle. Looks like not a hard answer to the Rumble in the top side from 369. Not the carry that we were looking towards with this Senna in the bottom side with the potential setup. Still have decent damage with this composition. Looks like 369 just going to slam that Ksante to finish things out. So a lot of potential for mid-game skirmishing from both teams, honestly. You've got huge power spikes from the Senna in the mid-game. You've got obviously the Ahri that sends out very, very powerful picks. But you're up against the Kalista, Ashe, the bottom lane, the Taliyah, the Viego, Rumble. Like, this is a powerful composition from JDG when it comes to scrapping around the 20-minute mark.
Exactly, right? For JDG, they're going to be playing with Pryos in their side lanes early on. They have a ton of damage at 6 to, again, set up Viego to be able to take over. For TS, I feel like it's going to have to be a bit slower. If you're finding early game aggression, it's going to be around your Xinjiao and your Ahri. And even as the game goes on, a lot of it becomes kind of kiting out or playing around the initial burst that JDG's composition brings. If you can get out of that, if the equalizer doesn't turn out to be impactful, you know, you dodge the first seismic shove, then your continuous DPS coming out from things like the Senna and the amount of frontline you have should really be able to take over. But that is going to be a tough task with the amount of proactive tools that JDG's comp can bring to the table.
And I think this is something that a lot of people at home were wanting to see today. After how passive the compositions have been from JDG across playoffs, people were asking for more proactivity, more aggression, and JDG here in game number 4 are bringing nothing but proactivity and aggression. This is a comp that wants to get down and scrap with you. And top esports now, they're going to be the ones fighting from the back foot. They're going to be the ones that you expect to fall behind in the early game. The question will be, can their mid-game weather the storm that JDG are bringing to their doorstep?
It's kind of interesting bunch. Backs against the wall for JDG, leaning into a very different look. Honestly, same though could kind of be said for TES without their backs being against the wall, right? Leaning into something we haven't seen.
Fronts against the wall,
at least in playoffs, yeah. Yeah. So, something we know they could play, compositions they brought out through the regular season, but again, not really in playoffs. Leaning up towards this top side. Shouldn't be able to find anything on the Flandre.
Yeah, Flandre going to be playing the Rumble in the Jungle. Except not in the jungle. But look at this. Late invade comes through in the end. Flandre hasn't seen it just yet. He moved back into his lane.
And they're committing for the swap.
Okay, shenanigans. Absolute shenanigans occurring here in the LPL here in game number 4. When JDG play for aggressive lanes, top esports shake their head. And they don't even entertain the idea.
They completely dodge out on them, thinking, hey, you know, we have the Ksante. He should be able to absorb pressure a lot easier. Maybe not this early. I mean, he's going to get absolutely mauled by Kalista Ashe in that lane. But you're hoping that you can do a similar thing up in top lane. You have the sustain coming out from JackeyLove, and now Meiko on the Tahm Kench isn't going to feel anywhere near as bad being on the melee champion.
So now he's going to pretty much be denied. My favorite little mini game you can do where we have these lane swaps, which I'm warning you guys at home now, this could be a big feature in MSI. It's the game of which top laner can get a single CS first. So far, 2.5 minutes into the game, we're still at 0-0 between the top laners. We'll see who can find that fateful CS at the first moment. It looks like it is, in fact, going to be Flandre. He gets the wooden spoon.
Oh, he's kind of being separated. We'll see if Tian can at least force a flash here.
He doesn't just get a wooden spoon, he gets a tip and a spear behind it as well. That's going to be flash forced from Flandre. Tian very happy with that one. And so many minions going to be going down there. 369 still level 1, still not a single CS. And Kanavi threatening a dive now on the bottom side. Ghost going to be popped by 369. Has the W to buffer a lot of the damage. And CC missing. Walks away with his life. The Ruler gets chunked by the tower, but it's enough for first blood.
Great by JDG, not even allowing 369 to hit that level 2 point. Like we said, their life was going to be rough over here for the Ksante, but both top laners, I mean, having a hell of a time. It's all about funneling into the AD carries, dodging out on some of the harder matchups.
So 369 now commits his TP. Will he survive, though? The stun doesn't land from Kanavi, and actually, he's locked a Ruler under the tower. The tower shot not quite enough. But it was damn close. Now the redive. Once again, Kanavi tanking up here. 369 gonna die for a second time as Kanavi gets the reset, and yet more minions die under this tower.
And I like the gumption, the moxie to TP back down there, try to make something happen under Ruler, but I don't see any world where you were not just gonna get redove with how many minions were waiting in the wings. So JDG really feeling fortunate. Oh,
Tian.
no.
That's a red buff as well. Kanavi has flash. Oh, he face plants into the wall, and the thumbs down comes out from Tian.
I gotta say much. Over the years of all the JDG top esports back and forth, this series has to be the weirdest, like most uncharacteristic gameplay that we've ever seen in this matchup. Kanavi, the flash hurts so bad. For TES finally being able to find an answer back, because Ruler has been being absolutely funneled gold so far, even having a bit of a bounty there. 2-0-0 up on the Kalista.
Yeah, he's feeling good. Tian. Oh, this is cheap. Just waits in the brush as well. Dive straight onto Kanavi there. Red Bull taking away. And I mean, he tries to get to the wall. He fails.
What a great read, though, by Tian, though, right? Because it's like, okay, you're playing up towards top side, they're playing towards bot. Instead of going for that top lane scuttle crab, kind of circumventing, working his way around to set that trap play, which is really nice to see from Tian.
Yeah. Really smart gameplay coming out from him. Using that Xin Zhao to find an early lead, despite how far ahead Ruler is currently. I mean, naturally, he's going to build an individual lead against the Senna. You expect that, but the 2 extra kills are just a cherry on top of everything else. 2-1, and a big gold lead to start us off for JDG. It feels like they've won out the lane swap, even though it was top esports that started.
Yeah, and now Tian might be able to find a bit of a time here. He's going to be spotted out by the ward.
Can they find the angle? Ruler, no, summon is available and gets caught by Meiko. The root will land as well. Ruler down, Tian forced to flash, and it's a kill into JackeyLove's pocket is missing. Licked on the way out.
TS hoping to get a bit more there, but with Kanavi making his presence shown, only going to be kept to the 1 kill, but still, that's 1 kill on JackeyLove, and again, a small bounty going over as well. I believe it was 250 gold. You'll take every bit you can get when you're on this Senna, and just trying to scale your way up to being a menace.
The wave in a really awkward spot up top as well. I'm pretty sure JackeyLove and Meiko can just hold that there pretty much forever. There was a huge amount of minions. Yeah, there you go. They can clear out the cannon, clear out a couple of those melees. They can just freeze this if they really want to. We can see Ruler has moved down to that bottom side once again. He prefers the matchup into 369, it turns out.
Well, it's also Dragon coming up, and one thing JDG have been doing really well so far in this first 6 minutes, right, is like, hey, again, they kind of got the better end of the lane swap with those 2 dives, so Ruler's feeling really strong, so just constantly rotating him to wherever the objective is. They know they're going to get it, and it means TS now not getting any of the first 3 grubs, not getting this first streak, and yeah, things going pretty nice so far for JDG, even if TS have managed to keep up in gold.
I feel like this kind of meta really rewards like ARAM players, where you're not really playing the matchups that you're so used to playing. You're not playing the matchups that you've practiced all year long. Like, we just had Flandre crashing the wave mid as Rumble. Like, how many times has Creme played against a Rumble in the mid lane? It feels like you get to see a little bit more from the 2 teams. Is 369 actually going to use a Ghost to try and get up to this top lane and just get as much CS as physically possible? He's 20 CS down right now in this game, using the Ghost literally just as a way to get in XP range for that cannon and get as much of the CS as possible.
Yeah, he gonna be a bit less safe in lane if they commit resources to trying to just run him down, but I think TS know they aren't gonna be opting into any straight up team fights for a while, so at least won't need that in that regard, and now wanting to try to find avenues to just punish Ruler and missing.
Yeah, you gotta get out of there, JDG. This is not a fight that you can win. And now, finally, they get to deny some CS. A little bit of revenge for what's been going on in the early game to their own top laner. Clearing that wave, just letting the wave die in the meantime to that tower as they move over. They'll grab that bit of plate gold. Creme and JackeyLove happy to share that. Maybe even get a bonus plate as well. I love that they're just sticking around as well. No sense in stopping.
Look at the experience differences. Tian 6, Kanavi still only 5. Top esports spot lane 5 and 6 to 5 and 4 of JDG's, and more XP being denied down in that bot side. Small things like this are really making a nice difference for TES.
And one of the big things that we've said about top esports is how well they play the map. I feel like a lane swap meta, it really suits them as a team. And even though JDG, it felt like, got the better of the very early lane swap with the dives onto 369, overall, top esports have closed that gap once again.
And look at this. Both of them have their ultimates before even one ult is there for either of JDG's bot laners. Really nice dive.
369 in trouble. Buffers a lot there with the W. The railgun comes through. Meiko TPs into the play, denying the dive onto 369 and denying all of this investment from JDG on the top side.
And 1 ult for 2 when we're about to have The second spawn of Grubs coming up too, getting plates and mid. A lot of good things going over to TS, but Yagao, all right. Looks like he was thinking about it with the fact that Kanavi was making his way over, but that would have been really greedy pathing with how far behind Kanavi was if they committed. So I like they decide not to pull the trigger in the end. And with no equalizer, with no Weaver's Wall, it seems like JDG are like, hey, it's fine. They can have their 3 Grubs. Let's focus on clearing these camps, which is the right decision.
And the fact that you moved everyone up to this top side to answer that dive means that now the Grubs get to be sort of the reward for that rotation on the side of top esports. So 3 for 3 on the Grubs. 15k on either side. The only differentiation right now is where that gold is within the rosters and that first Drake that was picked up by JDG.
I also love the play of TES, you know, pulling out the Senna and going towards this style of composition in what could potentially be the last game of the series. You know, letting BLG know, hey, there's still some threat here. You still have to respect our Senna. We haven't really been playing it that much because, again, it's been banned quite a bit, but always there in the back pocket how well they've played so far. Kind of sucks. Ruler missing. We're able to get off to such a good start, but haven't been able to find the impact since. And now, I mean, technically losing out in CS to Senna and Tahm Kench is a Kalista Ashe. Not a good place to be in. Oh.
TP behind enemy lines. It's Creme that wants to dive in the top side. Uses that Scryer's Bloom to clear the ward and instantly answered the TP from Yagao. In the meantime, though, 369 has found Flandre and delivers him on a silver platter over to Tian. Finds the W. Can they finish the kill? That Flandre now having flash on cooldown. Will be slowed. Will be knocked back. No. Q3 couldn't quite come on through, didn't manage to stack it in time. Flandre gets away. Looks like everyone got away on the top side as well.
Okay, a bit of a trade in mid. Creme looks like he's winning out on it.
Oh, Flandre stuck around the flash forwards and the finish off from 369. The equalizer, not enough.
No, so nice. They stay persistent. They're able to find the kill in the end, and they're not losing anything anywhere else. Hell, if anything, and it looked like Creme was potentially on the winning end. That trade in mid if there was any reinforcements there. JDG, it's the smallest of constellation prizes.
Arrow in the mid lane. It hits onto Creme. The flick back is there. Kanavi's moving in as well with the railgun. Keeps Creme alive for a second. And he flashes forwards for the kill. What a play from Creme to go 1-for-1.
Creme finds the 1-for-1. JackeyLove made it possible, though. The ult and the heal from the Q, making sure he could survive that initial burst to then be able to follow up on the play. But still, it does lean Kanavi into getting one himself. But I feel like as TES, when you were on the receiving end of JDG's play, you're very happy about that. And look at the minimap. Looks like Tian even already starting off this dragon with Kanavi going back to finish off his Kraken Slayer.
What a performance so far. What a game here at game number 4. This is exciting. This is the first time this series where it feels like we're really going towards that mid-game at even Stevens on the scoreboard. Ever so slight goal lead for top esports, but not that much to talk about. Creme having a huge play there in the mid lane. And remember, he's never made it to an international tournament before. If he can just win one more game in this series, he will make it to MSI. And it's not just Creme either. It's top esports as an organization. They never made it to MSI before. They've never managed to top out the spring split. And, you know, we've only recently had multiple seeds. Creme is caught by yet another arrow. That cooldown is so short. This time, can he get away? No, he cannot. Ruler grabs the kill for himself, and now JDG want a little bit more face call to follow up on the engage. Tien knocked into the air is missing. Has gone too deep on this one. Kanavi threatening the backside, but he's threatened himself. He goes down, and it's Meiko to grab the kill as he dives under for more. JackeyLove chasing. Root lands onto Yagao, but they don't have the damage to finish it off. Meiko trying to escape, but he's flicked back, gets the shield before he goes down. JackeyLove has a bit of sustain for his supporters missing. Gonna be rooted up. Ruler getting onto the front line as Tien goes back in once more. How are they still going in this one? Yagao falls as JackeyLove just has so much range. Missing, goes down. The heal at the last second is JackeyLove's dream.
JackeyLove and Meiko popping off and rinsing JDG in this what ended up being a 2v3 at the very end of the skirmish. Massive play by them. 4-0-2 now on the Senna. Like, my God, TS really have played around this early game immaculately from JDG being the one to come in and try to set the pace with this composition. It just hasn't been able to work.
And after that last game as well, where JackeyLove was 0-2-0, while the rest of the team was winning the game, it's him that grabs the triple kill. 4-0-2 on the Senna, a pick that this team hasn't been relying on. He shows up once more and reminds the world that you have to fear this pick.
Yeah, you do. You just have to put respect on JackeyLove's name overall, having a really good game so far in the Senna. And with this Herald up, I mean, look, they're doing it by the book, pushing in mid-wave. They've already got some shallow vision in river and towards the enemy jungle. It's just going to set up for this to be able to come through. I'm kind of surprised that we aren't seeing JDG maybe lean a bit heavier into this, especially with the fact that we just saw Flandre use that equalizer. But it seems like just valuing getting a reset down so he can't be punished after the play comes through. And here, I like the idea of the initial pick, right? JDG's comp is essentially a pick comp. This is where it gets kind of awkward, though, because they're trying to run them down and look for the engage, but they don't really have, like, a great front line, like a great body to just throw in front of it all. As he, for some reason, just skipped into the second part of this fight, but JackeyLove here hits the binding, is able to just play and tether off the edge of his range perfectly while Tian and Meiko buy space. And then it's here where I love that he's the onus of like, hey, I just need to flash in, finish this one off, and we have a 1v2 to end Ruler's life.
That Q just so last split second. In the meantime, Meiko saves his AD carry, kicks JackeyLove out to safety, and realistically, they cannot follow up onto Meiko. My goodness, top esports are here to play, but it's still just 100 gold between the two teams. This is easily the closest game of the series so far today. And I'm so glad that we get a game like this today. I was worried that JDG would just fall out of the series, but no, fighting tooth and nail on both sides. And we'll see what on earth happens now in the mid game. Next Drake not up for another 90 seconds.
And for JDG, it becomes really clear, right? You're playing around, especially your Enchanted Crystal Arrow right now, trying to set up a pick, burst someone out immediately, and then being able to turn that into an advantageous position where things like the Weaver's Wall and Equalizer can really threaten TS too much where they have to back off an objective or win the fight. TS, though, it's going to be a lot more just about the straight up front to back, right? You have enough frontliners to where you can buy enough time and potentially take out people like Kanavi on the Viego with JackeyLove and Creme before the rest of JDG are taking down 369 or Tian. So, yeah, I think two very different games that these teams are going to be looking to play going forward.
Does feel that way, doesn't it? Top esports, like you say, sort of protecting JackeyLove to some extent, trying to keep him safe as Tian moves up towards that top side with the Warden Tribrush. Flandre had information there, spots Tian again as he walks away from the play. So nothing coming from that one. Drake up in 20 seconds. Tian up on that top side of the map. He's going to make a beeline down to contest in this mid lane as fast as possible.
So just dropping the Herald for now. We're going to see, it's interesting, right? He's moving up towards topside despite Dragon coming up on the Rift right now.
The wall just a little bit shy, so it doesn't stop the Herald's charge. We saw Yagao doing that, I think it was game 1 of the series, if I'm not mistaken. Certainly earlier in the series anyway. We did see that working out. Doesn't work this time. And with Weaver's Wall down, that's a bit of an issue with Drake spawning onto the map. Honestly, top esports can move into River pretty much with impunity.
Yeah, always arrow, but it's only onto the Tahm Kench.
Creme goes wide of the charm as well. Meiko tanky flashes out to safety. Kanavi is so low already. And Tian knocks him up, will finish the job. The spear goes deep into the hearts of JDG as 369 finds his way onto the backside as well. Dashes out to safety. Meiko saves his top laner. And top esports practically wiping JDG. Only 2 remain.
And I thought it looked so good for JDG to start off with just because of Flandre's equalizer. It was zoning off 3 members of TES. What was it? Tian and 369 in the back line just doing work. And now gonna lead to another fight win for top esports, another Dragon, and only furthering this gold lead as Creme can TP top to try and save this turret from Yagao.
And it's heartbreaking to see how one-sided this jungle matchup has been as well, with Kanavi falling so far behind. This was a comp sell for him to get the resets, but he's the one going down first.
And again, look at like 3 members kind of sectioned off. I guess JackeyLove able to get involved now, but Tian and 369 just able to run forward and really prevent any action from being able to come out on JDG's side. And again, when you're JDG and you're running these types of champs that do really well in retrospect to other champions with 1 and 2 items and you're not winning. It's so hard. It's great. Great Spirit Rush from Creme.
First time this game he's actually dodged one of those arrows. It's about the 9th arrow that's been thrown at him. I can't believe quite how often these arrows are coming out missing. Very proactive on the pick. But it's not really led to that much. Like, a couple of the arrows hitting Meiko, which doesn't really work out. Yes, they got the 1 pick on Creme, but earlier on, the first arrow that hit Creme, it turned into a kill for Creme. The second one, yes, was a pick, but then that turned into JackeyLove getting a triple kill. It feels like even though these arrows are hitting, even though he's being proactive, it's never turning into anything for JDG.
No, and it's like they almost don't have enough pieces in play for them to ever really be able to convert it into a kill. You can also see things like right now where most of top esports having those flashes up means it would be really hard to follow up on a play without burning some of those summoners first. And honestly, top esports has done a great job of like covering wherever JDG are going to go. They've read their pressure really well. Even that play in top side that we just saw, right? JackeyLove was already pathing towards top with Tian in tow. And yeah, just these plays really aren't there. TES doing such a great job in this series overall at being able to counteract JD Gaming.
The Spirit Rush came out from Creme there, forces out Yagao's own ultimate. Just sheer respect coming through as Tian forced the flash as well. Trying to get that ward, but will not be able to find it. Missing now, getting a little bit of damage down, but the Honey Fruit pretty much answers it, and missing suddenly is the target. Instead, Equalizer comes on through though. JackeyLove getting absolutely chunked, and Meiko has to eat him up early on in the play. 369 though, soaks the arrow, gets his team out of dodge.
Again, really nice equalizer placement coming from Flandre. It's kind of a nice change of pace when it feels like a lot of supports we've been seeing play Rumble a little bit too fast with the equalizer timings. But sadly, this is what we set up for in draft that TES have to do, right? If you can kite out the initial engage, the initial burst from JDG, that's where most of the punch with this composition's at. So they do manage to get out of there. Had there been an angle to re-engage, I think TES would have done great in a follow-up fight, but they decide, hey, we live to fight another day. We got our Horizon focus on Creme, so he's at 2 items. JackeyLove effectively on 3, with the fact of, you know, having the Blood Song too. Now Edge of Night, an opportunity there in pocket, so really making nice pace with the item advantages that they have over their opposing laners.
And the important thing about that Blood Song as well is it's, hang on a second, Kanavi, you're going real deep there. Railgun comes through and Creme finishes the kill. I mean, what? I don't know what he expected.
I don't either. And yeah, like you said, I mean, you also have to think about and worry about JackeyLove's ult on top of it, just making it that much harder to find these picks that you're looking for. So another kill over to TES, 12-5. Again, this team really wanting to make their way to finals. Not only Creme's first MSI or international, right? It will be Creme's first LPL finals, which will be tremendous. You look across the board at these other guys, definitely not a first for the other 4 members of Top Esports. They've seen the heights that you could see in the LPL, but yeah, we're gonna get to see this again, Munch, and like you, I don't really know.
Okay, he was trying to get out of there, but then he did just kind of start the fight instead of running away. He could have moved over towards Rumble.
Maybe just thinking he has the timing, and right, Flandre being not too far behind, they could be able to find the 2v1, but they should know someone's pathing down to catch that wave that he's pushing in. And ends up just going down for it. Really has just been a stark difference in the jungle in this series. Hell, it happened in the last series too. It's really great to see Tian when he's on form.
Oh, Yagao gonna be caught out. Flashes away. The charm not used though. Creme holds it until the flash is gone. Even saves the Spirit Rush so he doesn't get stunned. Beautiful from Tian and Creme. Kanavi and missing want to punish the pick. A TP though means they can't do squat. And Creme finds yet another. He's getting close to 10 stacks.
The only tragedy is that these kills are found on the bottom half of the map. Because if not, right, maybe they could have turned this into a Baron bait, try and get a turn, try and get a huge fight. Luckily for them, Dragon coming up in 1 second. So they should be able to convert this at least into an objective. And now being on Soul Point, like, this is huge for TES.
I mean, just look at the scoreboard, man. There is a bounty on every single player for Top Esports. Even Senna has a bounty, for God's sake. Like, this is
biggest
just
bounty.
Brutal. This is absolutely brutal. It looked so even to start off with. It doesn't feel that way anymore. Equalizer does absolutely nothing as Creme is now on a flank as well. Kanavi's already low. Ruler forced away. The Orb of Deception lands on the second dash, and Creme is just styling on JDG. The railgun flies on through. Top Esports move to Baron.
And with the threat of that engage, Tian was doing Drake. He actually moved up, and they were banking on getting a kill or getting more kills so they can do this.
And now the Baron bait once more. Kanavi is alive, but he has no ult and he has no flash, so it's almost impossible for him to get a steal. 369 takes the blast cone as well to make sure there's no way in, but respecting what JDG are bringing to the table here, they back away from the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like they necessarily have enough damage to really do it that quickly right now. They were just hoping to get the turn for a fight with only one member of JDG being down. So I think it was, you know, the right idea. Don't overcommit to the Baron, look for the turn. The angle wasn't there, as we saw 369 trying to find the flank. This does mean, though, that they've kind of just wasted this last minute. The straight could have already been taken, but hell, it looks like JDG accept and acknowledge that this is still top esports Dragon.
I mean, I'm enjoying watching the Creme Ahri this game as well. I feel like these scraps have been looking real good for him. He's on 9 stacks on that Dark Seal. We'll see if he commits to the Medjais. This game could qualify him for his first ever finals. It could qualify Top Esports for their first ever MSI. And he is looking good on a playmaking champion. No more of the corky, no more of that kind of nonsense. Just straight up power on the side of Top Esports.
We're going to at least be able to keep tabs of where TES are going right now. And you can see Top Esports really wanting to be able to bait and play around this Baron again, because look at the mini-map. The side waves already pushed out. Those are in order. Like, someone from JDG would need to go and catch those. Yeah. So Top Esports can keep playing the waiting game, re-clear the vision, re-push out mid, and yeah, just kind of go for the rinse and repeat.
And one of the beautiful things for Top Esports is, oh, arrow misses. It's going to be the Spirit Rush used, and in fact, they look at Flandre instead. Creme has one more charge, and Kanavi forced to ult out over towards Raptors. Honestly, it feels fairly neutral of a play, and missing ult, not that long of a cooldown.
I didn't see what it was that caught Flandre. I guess it would have had to be the root from JackeyLove, because Creme hadn't thrown his charm out yet. I did like the idea of, like, well, once you have to burn the Spirit Rush, just try and commit to find the all-in. Able to do so.
Yagao trying to find a flick back there, but it is just going to be Creme clearing the wave in the end. Another soul for JackeyLove. I've not seen his soul count recently, but I promise you it's looking pretty juicy at this point in the game. I'm guessing he's probably broached the 100 mark. In fact, yeah, 102. There you go on your screen right there at the bottom left. It's 15-5. It's 3,000 gold lead, almost 4. And Top Esports, again, return to controlling the Baron area. It's still 3 minutes until that next Drake comes up. And for Top Esports, you know, this is such an important game for them. Not just wanting to make it to internationals again, but wanting an opportunity to rematch BLG to try and win the LPL once more. They've been such a successful team in terms of being towards the top of the table. They haven't been that successful historically in actually winning the LPL. They want another shot at the title.
Yeah, for TES, right? I mean, hell, post 2020, it was looked at as, you know, it's going to be a few years of TES being there at the top. And again, they kept it close. They were able to get there many times, but like you're saying, not able to convert it. Right now, looking like they'll be able to head back there, but even then, sadly, not able to convert the Game 5 against BLG. They wouldn't have even been here had they been able to do that. But now, with a different look, keeping 369 down towards bot, has TP to join in.
Arrow lands, but it's not really the best target. Flick back onto Tian doesn't really matter. I mean, it just feels like it fizzles out, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like there's that much really coming out from JDG. That's them firing almost everything at the enemy. And nothing happened.
No. It's just so awkward, right? Because who really can safely walk up? No one. I mean, even Kanavi being on the Viego, if he goes too far forward and gets caught by something, they can just burst him down. Yagao!
Oh, Yagao's rooted the railgun in, and this could be everything Top Esports have been dreaming of. They're headed towards finals if they can finish this game. 2 picks come on through, and they barrel towards the mid lane. Tier 2 will be taken. Kanavi, Ruler, and Missing. They have to stop this Baron going down.
To see what they're able to do, because TES, very easy time, just head over there, but it's so awkward. Even like your AoE damage and your poke that could be there from the Taliyah or the Rumble.
Oh, Missing.
Do so.
Flash forced by Creme. Good Spirit Rush to get that cooldown out. Missing's ultimate is about to come off cooldown again. Creme saving that last charge. It's JDG, they move to the mid lane. The arrow just goes into the Baron pit. They'll get one tier 1 tower. It's in trade for Baron. Kanavi, can he make a miracle happen? I don't think so. Backs away. Top Esports take Baron.
Yeah, Top Esports now going to be able to reset, get on the map. Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds. And what I think Baron's going to be able to do is help you get that pressure to push in the waves and make sure JDG have no entry, but it's there. The root landing from JackeyLove, and then Tian able to follow it with the Wind Becomes Lightning. It's so easy for them to be able to run down this Rumble without his flash. And then I love the patience to just turn back around, go straight to the objective. And now, I mean, this could be the fight that decides it all. Oh,
Flandre is caught and he's just not tanky. Creme resets on the Spirit Rush, looking for more as well. Kanavi caught with the charm. Can't quite finish that kill, but honestly, a chunk on the jungler, a kill on the top laner. What more could you ask?
Now they're going to be able to make their way over and get to Seoul. For TES, it has been over a year since they've made it to an LPL finals. They were there in 2022, but 2023, it eluded them. And it's nice to see 18-5, Ocean Soul picked up, Baron in pocket. I mean, it is time for another Top Esports finals.
And it feels like JDG, the three-peat here in the LPL. They've won the last 3 LPL titles. And it seems that 369 will deny them. Returns to Top Esports after his vacation over on JDG, and now wins out the matchup, diving in the mid lane as the charm did land. The railgun doesn't quite land, but Ruler goes down anyway. It's Meiko to find him, and Kanavi, he gets one reset, but that is all he will get. Top Esports break open the base.
And now we're going to see how much more they could get, actually leaning over towards bot side. They don't really have a whole lot to fear. JDG still going to have to be careful about a potential dive just coming right on out the bat.
Top Esports on the cusp. You know how keen they are for this. You know how much this means to the players. But can they put the final nail in JDG's coffin? This will be 2 inhibs taken. JackeyLove 5-0-11, setting up that previous pick as well. Having a statement game, not even on a traditional carry. He's been lane dominant all year and brings out the Senna in game 4 and looks phenomenal on the pick.
Yeah, he's been an absolute stud as TES. Right, they really don't have to reset for all that much. And now TP coming out from Creme.
Forces Yagao's ultimate as well. It forces Flandre's ultimate. That's 2 huge ultimates down. I feel like the whole game, JDG's ultimates have been down every time they use them. The answer is just clean from Top Esports.
And we're going to see here, I mean, Wind Becomes Lightning connects. You have the Ocean Soul. You have enough to be able to force them back. And it's great to see the CC just keeps landing for TES. Continue, whether it's been the charm or the root coming out from JackeyLove. Sure, Creme goes down in the end, but yeah, it doesn't really feel like it changes anything for TES.
It certainly doesn't. This feels extremely one-sided at this point. And we're getting to the stage now where something's got to give. We're in miracle territory for JDG. You know, players like Yagao, we keep talking about the clutch potential, how he steps up for playoffs. Well, if you're going to step up, it's now or never. JDG now being sieged on the top side of the map as a 3rd inhib could be opened wide by Top Esports. But I don't even know how a miracle could happen. How do you even start the fight?
There's Munch, the miracle is the fact that, you know, at least if JDG can't get the chance to go for a 4th title in a row, 369 can, right? 369 can go carry that torch because it looks insurmountable. Kanavi looking for the angle.
Oh, but he's gone too deep, and Creme immediately dives onto the rest of his team. It's as one-sided as you like, but Top Esports will be over the moon with this. It's a 3-1 in the end as they rout JDG. The rivalry lives on between these 2 legendary organizations, but this chapter is written in Top Esports Inc.
Top Esports just having such an incredible run in this playoffs. Again, 2 series in a row. They're able to completely take it to JDG, and JDG just had no answers.
369 will return to the finals. He will return to MSI and he will attempt to defend his titles. The whole team of Top Esports stepping up this year and looking dominant as they make finals once again.
Again, a lot of people look at JDG's success last year. They credit it tonight with how the swap has ended up going. But 369, the guy who really deserves a lot of the praise, even if the playstyle wasn't necessarily through him at the time. Because again, the streak even started before Knight made his way to JDG. It started the year when 369 went, now comes back to TES, and the fact that he gets to go, trying to win another LPL in a row is just tremendous. And like you said, all of Top Esports stepping up throughout this playoffs. It's been a pleasure to see them play League of Legends.
It's absolutely beautiful to witness, isn't it? 369, what a guy. One of the greatest players in the history of the LPL.
Bought me a yacht.
Say that again, sorry?
I said he bought me a yacht. You know, great guy. I know a few people. He bought some cars. Like a lot of good things about 369.
Yeah, lent me his Lamborghini because he had to go and save the orphan.